With a relentless focus on excellence in healthcare, Pullman Regional Hospital presents the Health Podcast.
We've mostly been in lockdown mode since March, and we've all been dangerously close to the fridge. Our eating patterns have changed dramatically for those of us who are now working from home. Oh, the pandemic. So to talk about nutrition in the time of pandemic, we have three guests today. They are Joyce Marshall, Director of Medical Nutrition Therapy at Pullman Regional, Melissa Francic, Registered Dietitian at Pullman Regional and Board-Certified Health and Wellness Coach, and Leah Hakebeck, Registered Dietitian at Pullman Regional and Certified Diabetes Care and Educational Specialist. Go Team Broccoli! Joyce, let's start with you. How has COVID-19, the quarantine, affected people's nutrition and weight?
Well, I'm sure it's no surprise to you that the pandemic has resulted in increased enjoyment of higher fat, higher sugar food choices, a decrease in exercise, and resulting weight gain. In fact, 71 million Americans gained weight in 2020. So we're not here to shame anyone or really even to focus too much on the weight itself. What we are here to say and to recognize is the pandemic created a shift in self-care. And really the shift in self-care just is a reflection of the changes in thoughts and behaviors that we've all experienced as a result of the pandemic. So if you're among those who have gained weight in 2020, first of all, you're not alone. But second of all, we'd really just like to offer you an opportunity to recalibrate, reconnect, realign with your values, and reconnect with the choices that ultimately are going to create that state of well-being in your life.
Got it. Melissa, to you. Do you think weight gain is more of a problem or a symptom? And a follow-up, what are some of the ways people can stay healthy during quarantine and find some balance?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Deborah. Weight gain really is more of a symptom. And the underlying issue or core problem, as Joyce was pointing to, is really a lack of balance, a lack of self-care. And so how do we find that? I'd like to redefine balance, actually. I've heard this recently, and I really like it. It was that balance is about making choices that create fulfillment and align with your values, whereas an imbalance is engaging in thoughts and behaviors that take you away from what's most important to you. So many choices we make during the day, most I would venture to say, including how we spend our time, are unconscious and may not be aligned with what we value. So we can use mindfulness to look without judgment on what's happening in our lives in order to make conscious change. So the first step is that we must be willing to pause and do an honest self-assessment. For example, we could look inward and ask ourselves, what is most important to me? What do I value most in my life? And then what in my life currently supports my values? And what in my life currently takes me away from these values?
All running around like crazy during the holidays, and we really don't stop and take a look. I mean, I just threw an apple crisp in the oven. I'm just running around. Do I really need that apple crisp? I guess I thought I needed comfort. But anyway, we're going to go back on topic now with Leah. Do you have any tips for avoiding mindless snacking while spending so much time at home?
Yes, absolutely. So really tying into what Melissa was sharing about values, we can really use mindfulness as a tool to help us dig down and find those values or see if our behaviors are aligning with them. Because like we were saying, so many of us do things that are kind of on autopilot and we're not really paying attention to what we're doing. So it's one of those things that you won't know what you're doing until you notice. So you can ask yourself some questions. Like you mentioned in the question, mindless snacking has become something that a lot of us, I think, have used as a behavior that's maybe changed since the pandemic. So you could ask yourself, what is contributing to this behavior? Has something changed in my environment or maybe even in my mood? It's really key to be curious about what you're observing and not place judgment, just to notice. Maybe you notice you snack when you're bored. Maybe it's when you're stressed. Maybe the food's just there and it looks good. So there's a lot of reasons why this might be happening. And it's going to look different for everybody. But another thing you could maybe ask yourself is, what need might I be trying to be meeting from this eating? It's totally okay. I loved that you said you were putting an apple crisp in the oven because part of normal eating is eating for enjoyment. It doesn't have to be just for fuel. Obviously, that's a main component of food, but eating for enjoyment is part of life. It's part of being a human.
And my family loves it so much. A lot of what we do is for our family.
Oh, absolutely. So it's really important to honor that and not look at food as good or bad or I'm bad because I ate this food or ate it when I wasn't hungry. Really offering yourself some kindness around food can really be beneficial as well. Ask yourself, what need might I be trying to meet? Maybe I'm lonely. Maybe I'm sad. Maybe I'm bored. It doesn't have to be a strong emotion. But you can ask yourself, yeah, this is meeting my need for enjoyment right now. But maybe you might ask yourself, I'm wondering if maybe I might want to go for a walk, if that would feel good, or taking a nap or a break, take a bath, whatever you choose, looking inward and being aware and making choices based on what feels good.
Or the best trick of all, brush your teeth, and then the little craving goes away.
That's a new one.
Yeah, maybe you just need that little distraction, or maybe you just want some flavor.
For sure. No, I lose my cravings after I just brush my teeth. It's like, I don't really want a caramel now because my teeth are clean.
Yep.
And Joyce, what are some recommendations, other than what I just said, for people to find healthy and easy recipes to try cooking at home?
Oh gosh, there's certainly no end to great online resources. I would suggest for like quick and easy resources, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has a website with recipes. They also have videos that are geared towards beginning cooking skills that are useful. I also really like the Old Ways website, and they use wholesome ingredients. They're globally inspired, and you can search their recipes using a quick and easy tag. So that's handy. But a couple of my other favorites, maybe for more of a chef-driven palate or more creative or a more sophisticated repertoire, would be a couple different websites. One is the Rebecca Katz website, and then another one is called Feasting at Home with Sylvia Fontaine. Both of those latter two are just so beautifully photographed, and they really entice me to spend more time in the kitchen.
Feasting at home. I really love that concept. Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, you're already feasting at home, so it's right in line there.
So much of what we do is also seasonal. We do the barbecue at the 4th of July, and I have to make kringler at Christmas and the butter cookies and all that. So maybe we just find healthier recipes for all those seasonal things that we've come to love.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something you can do, especially when you're being more mindful. But I also want to just bring up that we have permission to eat and to enjoy. The holidays are one time of year. Maybe if you're wanting to be a little bit more mindful, you give a scan of the cookie table and maybe you pick your favorites. Don't worry about those others that you don't enjoy as much, because those are the ones that maybe mean the most to you during the holiday.
Or have a bite of each.
Yeah, whatever works.
Just saying. Because then you won't feel deprived.
There's no wrong way to do it.
Well, ladies, sadly, we are coming to the end of our conversation for today. We so appreciate your time and work in the field of nutrition. It's so important. We are what we eat, and you ladies help us realize that every day. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
To learn more about this subject, providers and services at Pullman Regional Hospital, go online at pullmanregional.org. This has been the Health Podcast from Pullman Regional. I'm your host, Deborah Howell. Thanks for listening and have yourself a terrific day.